want to actually advocate for men and show them that we're not all like that.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. So in the US, I know if someone gets divorced and they have a kid with a girl, in certain states, they have to pay 25% of their after-tax income per kid. I don't think it's as bad here.
No.
Is it similar or no?
I don't think it's, though it can be similar, but I think the thing is, I think the US is a bit more cutthroat.
Yeah.
In terms of English law, we go by case, and there's more of there's a lot more fairness, I think. From what I've seen so far, which is good. Because, I mean, in America, you have community property states, which are just, like, completely just cut the assets in the middle. Who cares what happened in the case?
Yeah.
And that's horrible, because some cases are really unique, and they deserve attention. But then you have equitable distribution states in America, some states. And which is what you expect of the law, to look at every single case. And the one that I was involved in was an equitable distribution state. So the factors, the ex-wife actually didn't fulfill the factors. So that actually worked in favor of my client.
What does fulfill the factors mean?
So there's statutory factors. So he was in the state of Colorado. And in the state of Colorado, you have statutory factors. For example, I don't know how people are going to take this, but it is the factors. For example, if she wants 50%, she will basically get whatever percentage from the assets, compensating for her contribution to the marriage. If she took care of children, there's a percentage. If she gave up things, like homemaking, as opposed to his 50%. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So she can. It could be 70, 20.
Yeah,
like that.
No, that's really cool. That's really interesting.
When I found out about the states, I was like, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
And community property states are really scary. Like California is.
That's the one where I heard this guy was like going to retire, and then he couldn't retire because his wife left him and took the kid to Japan.
What?
Yeah, and like it's crazy because I guess in some states, like the courts are separate, like the courts for like child support and the divorce courts. So when he went to child support, like he could get child support, they would just say, oh, you weren't in the kid's life the last 6 months, but they don't put in the fact that like she wasn't letting him be. Yeah, so it's very, especially in the US. Here I looked up, I think they get like 13 to like 20%-ish per kid, if that was correct.
Right.
Is that, I don't know if it's not as cutthroat, I think, as the US from what I learned.
No, but that's generally. But again, they look at each and every case, which is important, because we can't say it's definitely going to go this way, definitely.
Right.
Yeah,
okay. Sorry. That was just interesting. That's why I asked. Okay. So
I was going to say on a slightly on a tangent, but similar topic. Fun fact, like one of my friends who studied in law in the UK, I actually asked him about the topic of, like prenups. And I said, it must be a good idea, right? You're safeguarding yourself, you're safeguarding each person, then you feel like it's a little bit more comfortable going into the relationship. And I said, surely that's a good way to go, in a trusting way. And he was like, actually, there are loopholes. Just because you have a prenup does not mean you are going to get away, without compensation. So it might work a little bit better in America, but let's say in the rest of the world, that's not the case. And he's like, if you're smart, especially like people who have wealth from their family, old family, they actually when their kids get married, they actually they don't put things or assets under their children's name for a reason, because if the woman tries to divorce the man and try to get the assets, they can't, because it's under the entire family rather than under an individual. So he was saying there are ways that you can put your sister's name, you can get your brother. So it's it's not yours, it's the family. And so if that's the way that something's named, then you that you can kind of get away with it. But you cannot just say, well, I've got prenup, so this is pre.
Yeah.
And that's scary. That scares me.
It's hard because I'm very pro marriage in a family sense, but I understand why guys don't want to get married. It makes sense, because I'm if I could possibly lose this much of my assets, I wouldn't want to get married either, if the roles were reversed.
And what's more terrifying is that you don't even have to get married to get the same treatment.
You
can't even cohabit. because it's horrible. You can't
It's
even
like
trust.
it's like they legally twist their arm. Like they say,
Yeah.
oh, well, you know what? No, then let's not get married. And they say, but if you live with her for this many years, it's like.
I don't know if anyone who's Canadian in the audience who might know, but actually I heard that in Canada, maybe, I might be making this up, but I thought I heard that you don't even have to be married. If you've been living with your partner for a certain amount of years, that automatically, that person can try and get money from you.
I mean, it's the same, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I think that's true, but I might be wrong. So if I'm wrong, please correct me.
Okay. Sorry, I got a little off topic.
Sorry, that was
No, it's interesting. That's okay.